Hello, everybody, and welcome to another movie review by the NOLAnerds. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is our NOLAnerd movie review of Neighbors, sponsored by the Grand Theater in Esplanade.
Another bonus point about it, their seats recline all the way back.
So last time we saw a movie in their IMAX, their GPX theater, which had the crazy-ass comfortable and big seats. Then we went to see a movie in their regular theater, and the seats are... they're like recliners. They go all the way back, and you're all just
If you have a grand
really
theater
comfortable.
by you, if you have a grand theater by you, go to it.
Yeah. Also, and this is a super nitpick thing. I don't know how global or national this will seem. I don't know if this is a regional thing, but the Palace Theater, they're opening like pre-movie blurbs. They used to be, they were like 10 years old, and they replaced them with these stupid bouncing red balls. And they're nonsensical with bears and motorcycles and walking your cell phone. And it's
dumb.
It's frustrating to watch. And the Grand has theirs sponsored by M&M's, and it's the adorable M&M's from the commercials, and it's funny, and it makes me smile. And then it's just better than the dots.
It is better than the dots.
That's all.
It doesn't make me smile, though.
That's fine. You're dead inside. We've
Sure.
long established that. However, we're here to talk about Neighbors.
Let's talk about Neighbors.
This is the movie, one of the big comedies of the summer.
Yep.
Billed as brought to you by the people that brought you This Is the End. It's a funny movie. However, as a comedy, it doesn't. It's not. I don't think it'll hold up on repeat viewings.
No.
It's not going to be one of those where you bust it out to watch it over and over again.
I rate comedies a little differently than I rate other films, because comedies have to have some replayability. Like Anchorman is very replayable.
It is.
And Ghostbusters
and
is
also,
very replayable.
I find that goes hand in hand with quotability.
Yeah.
Like a movie that you can quote as a comedy is going to have more legs than a movie where, while you laughed at certain parts and you enjoyed watching, at the end of the day, it's not going to hit that level. Movies like Old School, movies like Anchorman, movies like, those kind of movies, people still quote today. You say, "You're my boy, Blue," people know what movie you're talking about.
Just you.
No?
Dork.
Oh. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, and you do that. And it's just not very memorable. Memorable? I would say that because we just got out of the theater like an hour ago.
Now let's preface this, because our last movie we were very harsh on the movie on Son of Batman for good reason. This is not a bad movie.
No,
it's actually very funny.
It is very funny.
And you should see it, and you will enjoy yourself.
Probably.
We're just trying to point out that this is not going to become a classic. It's like This Is the End.
Yeah. And
to be fair, they draw those comparisons by saying this is from the people.
Yeah.
So you got to make that comparison. However, let's talk about what we liked about it.
Right.
Because
I like that it kind of subverted our expectations.
It did.
You figure a plot like this would follow a certain level of progression.
Let's point out spoilers. I mean, for a comedy, but
spoilers for a movie.
We're not going to tell you the jokes per se, but I mean, a movie like this where it's a family versus a frat house, and they have a war, and you think you've been conditioned by movies to believe that at the end they're going to come together and reconcile and work together to save the frat or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Something does not happen.
Nope, not at all. The old people win.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
and it's done in such a satisfying way that doesn't make them seem like assholes.
Yeah,
that is important, because
the escalation's equal on both sides.
Exactly. So neither side feels like the bad guy in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, what I liked is the cast was very strong.
Mm-hmm. James Franco.
Dave Franco and Zac Efron.
Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne.
But the two younger ones,
yeah,
they really stepped up. And we mentioned how it's kind of like Channing Tatum, where you didn't want to like him in a comedy because of just no. And then they come out and you're like, damn, he's funny and I like him. Can't really hate on him. And Dave Franco specifically, because remember how much we hated him in Scrubs?
I really
God, he was the worst.
He was the worst part of that season.
But he's grown on me. He was really good in 21 Jump Street.
Looks like he's been really good in 22.
This. So he nice. Way to go.
That's fine.
Anyway, professional. I thought the cast did really good, and Seth Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne did a really good job of being like a very stressed and fatigued
believable
new parents.
Believable.
Yeah. And then their friends did bit
They're
parts.
fine.
McLovin as the guy with the gigantic penis. That was a nice twist. What else did you like about it?
I like that it's one step off from a horror movie.
You keep sorry.
It is.
Go. Okay.
It is. The idea of like this war and the escalation between these normal people and the frats. If they had gone 2 degrees to darker, this is a horror movie.
Where in the giant neon rave party, they infiltrate and murder them all.
Yeah, or like they just start beating the shit out of them or putting traps in the house to attack their baby.
I was worried that was going to happen.
I was too.
When they're like, "Oh, it's on," I thought they were going to go for the baby. I was like, I don't know if this movie was going to go.
And
that far.
when we're missing an airbag, and I was like,
"Oh no!
What if it's an axe? Is this movie going to take that chance?" I mean,
that's where they get their third strike because they murder a baby, and then you start doing the Viper Bigley a bit.
Yeah, but you know, it's close to a horror movie, and I really like that.
Just specify that's not actually a scary movie.
It's not, but it's close to a thriller.
Circumstances could easily go into the plot.
Like if next year someone made a horror version of Neighbors with like a different cast, but it was like scary, like
it could work.
It could work.
Yeah,
that's how close it is. We just got out of the theater, and I mean I really liked it, and I laughed a lot at it, but I don't really remember a whole lot from it. It kind of sifted through.
Is your memory that bad?
I just can't. It didn't leave anything.
I want to bring up specific points, but
go ahead and bring them up.
Let's
bring them up. It washed over me.
That's fair. I mean, I think in comedies it's all about, because comedies more than action movies, you always worry about them being spoiled in the trailers. So in my review, with a comedy, I don't mind talking about the plot as much. Yeah. I don't want to talk about specific jokes.
Right.
I'm going to just let's just say that the escalation on each side, and say like the frat, how they deal with the escalations and how they retaliate and respond to each other, I think was really funny. Uh-huh. And the climactic battle at the end was really good. Seth Rogen and Zac Efron pull it off nicely.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I don't think a month from now we'll be quoting scenes from this movie, but I find it very hard to believe that 30 minutes after you're struggling to remember stuff.
It just kind of. I mean, I remember the ending, and I remember most of it. I just like some bits of it I've already just passed through.
Okay. Let's see. What else do you want to talk about it?
Lisa Kudrow was fun.
She was fun as the dean.
Yeah. I haven't seen Lisa Kudrow in forever. I
gotta say though, Rose Byrne, I think she did really well. I don't remember her. The last thing I remember her being in was Moira McTaggart in First Class, and that wasn't a comedy. I didn't know she could be that funny.
Yeah.
I thought she really stepped up, because when you're surrounded by people like Seth Rogen and that group, it's kind of weird to be like the only person people don't know from a comedy.
Yeah, she really escalated her game, and I really liked it.
So she did a solid job. It was just, man, there was some parts that it was funny. Mm-hmm. I do not want to get into specifics. Let's just say, and this is a point that really matters with comedies, is that not all the trailers don't give everything away.
No.
There was a lot that is not in the trailers, and that is what's most important in comedies to me.
Yeah.
Because I hate when all the best jokes are shown in the trailer, and you realize that afterwards, and you feel very cheated. Mm-hmm. That is not the case here, and I was happy about that.
Me too.
Any other scenarios that you want to talk about? Anything else?
No, I can't really think of a whole lot else. I mean, everything that I thought was really good, I already mentioned, and yeah, I don't have a whole lot of negative points to say about it. I mean, just aside from the fact that I don't think it's particularly memorable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's at the end of the day, that's the best way to think. It's a very funny movie. You should see it, but I don't think it's going to be one of the. It's not going to be a classic.
Yeah.
At least to me, I could be wrong, and I would like to be wrong, because I want stuff to succeed. But I just don't think. There's certain comedies that you see it and they immediately become a thing. Hangover.
They're like an itch in your brain.
Yeah.
So.
And again, I think a lot of it comes down to, can you quote this movie? Because really, every major comedy that has stood the test of time
Quotable.
is because people remember it and quote it. Animal House.
Yeah.
I mean, Ghostbusters counts.
Yeah.
This is the End is one of the most recent ones. 21 Jump Street. These movies are successful and continue to be beloved because of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, Neighbors, while good, probably won't be one of those.
All right. Well,
what do you give it?
I'm going to give it like a 7.5.
Okay.
I think it is very funny in parts, and I think it's really well acted. I probably won't buy it, not even if it gets like super cheap. But if it shows up on Netflix, I may turn it on. But even then, that's 50-50.
I think it'd be a movie that if you were with someone that hadn't seen it and you saw it on Netflix, you would watch it.
Probably.
Be like, let's watch Neighbors.
But I don't think it's a destination movie.
No.
It's more of like we haven't seen this.
Yeah. I'll give it an 8. I'm not as dire on it as Chris. I would not be against watching it again if someone brought it up and said, hey, I haven't seen Neighbors, let's watch it. I'll be, sure, okay. Because I actually think the fact that it's not too memorable will work in its favor in that regard. Because you won't remember a lot of it.
Yeah, it might have a little bit more rewatchability from that.
Yeah, with enough time passed. So who knows? But that said, you should go see it. It's good times.
Yep.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this has been our movie review of Neighbors, the first major comedy of the summer. Look forward to many more to come. I thought you were about to pop your collar. Delta Psi for life. What was it? This one?
That's a pussy.
No, he did that. It's like the Delta.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he...
Diamond upside down.
Oh, my God. I get it, but he didn't do that. He did this.
Yeah, that's what he meant.
Ugh.
I really don't think that's what they were shooting for when they did that.
I know. I'm just saying. All right. Oh, fuck. Hannibal Buress was really good as the cop.
Yeah. Also, we got a trailer for The Purge.
The Purge.
The Purgening.
Purge 2. The Purgening.
Fuck The Purge.
We are not fans of The Purge. You will not see a review of that movie here because we're just not going to see it.
I'm not shelling out money for that.
We're not shelling out press passes for that.
Nope.
Deuces. Oh, I thought that's where you're going with that.
Deuces.
I don't know. The
boosh.
Anyway, okay.
Sploosh.
That's terrible. Check out our other reviews. We've got an upcoming a thing talking about if you're into our video game stuff. Chris came up with an idea. Talk about our favorite games from our childhood. So we'll be hitting that up soon. Check out our free Comic Book Day podcast on the iTunes or over at NOLAnerdcast.com. And yeah, we'll see you later.
Yeah, we'll be back next week with Godzilla. Gojira.
Maybe. I mean, it doesn't look very good.